Yeah, 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 we gon' vote for him. Yeah, 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 we gon' vote Chupi. Yeah, and we gon' vote for him. Yeah. All the hard work he has done for us, a true leader for the people. Always fighting for our rights, and all the passing up so much love. Kept government up for 4 years strong, something that wasn't done for so long. Rolando Bryson's the new way up, and we are sure that he'll hold us down. Now is our time, cause we're still going up. Rolando Bryson representing we, is standing up for this country. So that's why we gon' vote UP. Now is our time, cause we're still going up. Rolando Bryson representing we, is standing up for this country. I know we going up, yeah, yeah, cause we the top. Rolando Bryson's the new way up. If you be party for us, yeah, we going up, yeah, yeah, cause we the top. Rolando Bryson's the new way up. If you be party for us, if you be party.
St. Martin, we probably go far, and we know, search for a sign of a change. A Chino, you know it got days when you feel like a zero. I woke up this morning, but felt like Mark Mingo. Tomorrow be a better day. Respect is the key, education gon' matter, so don't you try to run away. St. Martin, the place where the food is good, the people is good, the music is good. We living like we on a road. You're trying to take us down, but I'm thinking cause they really don't. Misunderstood. Oh Lord, help us protect ourselves, help us look in ourselves. We're searching for what they call the fire that's in ourselves. I just want to see the best from my motherland. I just want the whole world here to understand that we came from the bottom of the sewer, now we heading way up, high up unto Wonderland. Opportunity is yours, so make it happen. Take an action.
Carl & Sons has delicious food to fit your lifestyle and go easy on your pockets. Carl & Sons, your #1 spot for breads, pastries, cakes, sandwiches, breakfast, and lunch. Check out Carl & Sons today on Pondville and in Coal Bay.
Honorable Mr. Sidharth.
Vote for the green, vote Akeem. Vote for the green, vote Akeem. Vote for the green, vote Akeem.
People has been a part of me and voted on my lead. A man of action and integrity, yes. Number 2, a united people party.
And this is something that we look forward to do.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and an exciting new airport mall. Finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport. The experience will move you.
Will the new parties get votes? Yes. Will they get sufficient votes to get a seat? I don't know.
Yeah.
And if we look at the Christian Party, they came and they won a seat.
They won a seat.
They spent 4 years in Parliament.
Well, not 4 years, but...
No, I said they spent 4 years in Parliament, and they had a stint in government. The leader of the party even ended up as Prime Minister of the country. Yet they went to elections
and they didn't get
couldn't make a seat.
Not even one.
They couldn't make a seat.
Yeah.
And what we see leaders of the new parties, with the exception of of one of them or two of them. You have the leader of the USP party.
Yeah.
She never ran before, but she was a minister
for a short period
for
of time.
the
Yeah.
USP party. But you have the leader of one of the other parties. You ran here, you ran there, you came back there, then you hesitate, then you ran again, then because you didn't become a minister or you didn't get what you were hoping to get, you left. Okay? You left. And now you're telling people, vote for you. You have the leader of the Democratic Party that has been around the place as well in terms of she was with the PDP, then she was with DP, then she was with UDP, and then she was now back to DP. They're going back to their roots.
Yes.
And so you have Dr. Mercelina as well, my good friend. When he was here before, he claimed to have been a supporter of mine. And when I was going through hell with the Dutch in Holland, he called me when I was in Miami with my wife at the hospital, at the doctor. He called me and said, don't worry with what these people are doing. He said, you have done a great job and you could have done no better. Stand your ground. Then when I got wind that he's entering politics, I spoke to him. He said he didn't make up his mind yet. He will decide what he will do. He ran one way and, hey, that's your right.
Yeah.
Then he too moved away. Then he brought a motion of no confidence against his own minister and didn't do anything to follow through on it. And then you ran with UP.
Didn't make it.
And you didn't get into parliament. You didn't become a minister. And it was like, okay, since I can't get, then I'm gone again. So the focus has been very much on the needs and wants of the individuals. And when you look at some of the candidates who is running with them, it is candidates who tried here, tried there, went back there, and now let me try again.
Yeah.
You have a candidate who went there, had their own party, went there, got in parliament, came back out. So it's a lot of recycling. Recycling. I can beat on my chest. 1978, December 15th, I was a founding member of the SPM that I spearheaded changing the name to SPA, and I changed at the time as leader the name to National Alliance.
Yeah.
I have gone nowhere.
Yeah.
I was looking for nothing for me.
Yeah.
And when I was in opposition, I stood my ground. When I didn't get elected for the 2 elections, I did not walk away and say, well, if I go over there, I will get elected or they will make me a commissioner. I stood my ground. We get a vote of no confidence. I leave office and I go in opposition and I fight my way back in. I got in the parliament of the Netherlands Antilles. We won opposition. I fought and I stood my ground there. And our party became the biggest party and the only party to capture 3 seats in the parliamentary elections of the Netherlands Antilles for St. Martin, and the only party from St. Martin to ever appoint 2 ministers in a cabinet. And I turned down in 2010 being the Prime Minister of the Netherlands Antilles because I told him my mission is to leave the Netherlands Antilles.
Not become the Prime Minister.
Not to become the Prime Minister of it. The only Prime Minister I want to become is the Prime Minister of St. Martin.
Yeah.
And even though we were the biggest party with 7 seats, I was denied that, if you want to say that honor and that privilege.
Yeah.
And that too is water under the bridge.
Yeah.
And that's why when it was offered in 2012, I said, thanks, but no thanks. The shine is already off it. But then I accepted when we were forming the government, and it became what it became.
And it became
so
what it became.
There are only really 2 parties in this race. the National Alliance and our coalition partner, the UP Party.
And I'd say,
Rolando
yeah, that's what I
Bryson
said yesterday. Yes,
and,
correct.
and of Sylveria Jacobs.
Yeah.
Like I say, did everything go the way I would have wanted to see it? No. There is no government that will do everything 100%. But even the question that some people are asking, are we better off today than when we were Netherlands Antilles, or are we better off than 4 years ago? Better off is not measured in let's say short terms.
Yeah.
Okay, better off is measured
In long
in time.
Long term. Yeah,
If
yeah.
you send a child to college,
Yeah.
he doesn't graduate in 1 year.
In 1 year, no.
And even 4 years nowadays is not enough.
Yeah,
Because after they get their bachelor's degree, if you come back with a bachelor's degree, it's like you finish high school.
But isn't it frustrating though that people ask for stability, they get stability, and now you have to explain that stability is what you asked for. We gave it to you. Now let us continue to work so that we can,
Yes.
give you improvement.
Like one of the things I can tell you, for the first time in probably 10 years, there is 68 million hard cash in the coffers to carry out capital investment. When I was Prime Minister, we had a capital budget, I think, of 38 or 48 million it was, approved under Richard Gibson. When we submitted the paperwork for the loan, CFT, who had approved it, advised the government, the Dutch government, that they don't think that we have the capacity to carry out
I
48
remember
or
that.
38 million.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, St. Martin should not be given more than 20 million a year for capital expenditures.
Yeah.
Now, there's nobody can grow a business without injecting money.
Keeping us out.
There is no country, because we are just 13 years old as a country.
Correct.
There is no country that can grow if they had such a backlog. If I leave my children with each of them with apartment, each of them with 2 cars, each of them with fridge, microwave, stove, air cores, each of them with a bank account with $250,000 in it, then my children have a fresh start, a good start. But the average person leave their parent house with their bare knuckles, go to school, and come back from school dead broke as a student, with a student loan
Hanging over there.
hanging over their head, with having to pay back due for their studies, and therefore have difficulties getting a loan to buy a house or to build a house or to build a piece of land. Years ago, you could go by government and there was land available.
The long
Today,
lease.
there is no more long lease land. So, yes, it takes some time.
It takes some time, yeah.
And I believe that if we give this coalition another 4 years, it will be hell to get them out of government
For the next-
because
Yeah.
there's young blood
Yeah, and they have nothing to lose.
in both parties,
Yeah.
and they can only grow
Yeah.
from here.
It can't get worse.
It can't get worse.
It can't get worse, yeah.
But it definitely will only get better. Both leaders were young leaders in terms of they had
Experience,
no
yeah.
experience, let's say, leading.
Yeah.
Ministers, many of them were first-timers, and mistakes were obviously made, but all I can see is a bright light at the end of the tunnel. And when I look at the potentials within the National Alliance,
candidates, yes.
it is definitely destined to become the biggest party again after the elections, because I would not call their names, and it would be like I'm being
Yes.
prejudiced.
They will be saying, but what about me?
But I'm not only talking about one candidate.
Yeah.
We have an
Multiple.
array
Yeah.
of candidates that are going to do well in the election. And I'm warning some of the older candidates, guys, you got to step up to the plate because
These
there
young
are
ones come
some
for your job.
there are some batters in the box waiting to put it over the fence. So with that, Andrew,
Yes.
I believe that we will see a repeat of the two
previous
parties.
yeah.
There might be a shake-up in the Council of Ministers.
Yeah, because depends on how. Yeah.
Depending on
How
how the
the
numbers
parties will,
fall,
yeah.
and how you know, the people have shown their preference for here or there.
Mhm.
And you know, nowadays it is not where you are on the list.
No.
You can be 23 like I
Or
was
22.
and still get elected. You
Correct.
can be 22 and get elected, and you can be number 3, 4, or 5, 6, 7, or
And
8.
did not.
And
You could be
don't-
number 1. You could be
and
the
don't make
leader.
it.
And
Well,
don't get
we've had a
Yeah.
situation
We've
where
seen that.
the leader didn't get elected.
Yeah.
I think he placed number 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And I hope this doesn't happen to any of our two leaders.
Yeah.
I hope to see the leaders return, because one of the other things is that it takes two to tango.
Mm.
Okay? Did this coalition go through rough seas and
Yeah.
rough waters?
Obviously, they lost
Oh,
members.
hell yes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
We have lost from day one. We have lost one candidate
One candidate. Yeah.
who,
One
because
candidate.
he didn't get what he wanted,
Yeah.
would not sign on.
Yeah.
Then we had
Recently, you had one. That was it.
we had the up party had an exodus, and I think they were hoping that the government would tumble down
Mhm.
and that they would either form a new government or have new elections. I don't know what the objective of their move was,
Yeah.
but it backfired.
Correct.
We kept the government in place. And it takes, like I said, two to tango. Because if we started pointing fingers at each other,
It would have been.
the government would have
Yeah.
fallen apart.
And then this would have been.
But I
back to
must
the
give
drawing board.
credit to both leaders, but also credit to the 8 strong, including myself,
Yeah.
who stood their ground.
Yeah.
And when I was in Panama with a problem caused by a doctor,
Yeah.
because every day I go to the supermarket, I have to tell people, I am not sick. I didn't have a stroke. I don't have a medical issue. What I have is a doctor during a test damaged, obviously, my nerves. And it is only recently when I went to the Baptist Hospital in Miami that it was definitely diagnosed, because I never had a test done. It was diagnosed that my nerves in L5 are severely damaged, which gave me a drop foot to my left foot, and in my hip. My hip can't sustain my body. Other than that, I drive,
Yeah. You know.
I attend meetings,
Yeah.
I travel. I travel by wheelchair. But there's nothing wrong with my brain. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with my head. There's nothing wrong with my hands.
Mhm.
And I'm alive and healthy. And I thank God every day for life. And I thank those who keep sending their well wishes and their best wishes.
Yeah.
But I can assure you that when I was away, the coalition was being undermined. And you remember they were trying to bring motions of no
Yes.
confidence.
And you had to come
As a
down.
matter-
Yeah.
brought
You had to
a
come
motion
down
of no
from a plane.
confidence.
Yeah.
And when I came back, couldn't walk, couldn't hit a step. I had to basically
Be escorted. Yeah. All the way up.
dragged up the Parliament building
Just to see.
to save
a minister.
the minister and save the coalition. It's no laughing matter.
No, but it's
no laughing
it
matter.
shows your public your
I'm
dedication.
saying it shows our commitment,
Yeah, the commitment and
to-
dedication.
what we have made to the public.
Yeah.
Because all of us who signed on at the time say we are committed to
Keep it going.
stability.
To keep it going.
Okay?
Mhm.
And there is no marriage that would not have a little argument. And if you can't argue and make up after, then
the marriage, yeah.
what's the sense?
Yeah.
And in this marriage, in this coalition, oh yes, we have had some falling out, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
Internally on both sides, against each other from both sides.
Yeah.
But it was always
In the best interest,
resolved by those of us who have remained standing. There are those who have left.
Yeah.
Okay? There are those who have left and say they've gone back to their roots.
Yeah, their homes.
But that's where they left. They left and said that home was too corrupted.
Yeah.
That home was too destructive. That home was not working in the interest of the people. You move away, and today you crawl back,
Yeah.
and you say, I'm crawling back.
Some people say
to my
swallowing in your vomit.
You know,
Yeah.
I saw a candidate whose father was a commissioner for the Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I am going back to his roots,
Yeah,
where his father
started.
was. But where did his father end? His father ended with the National Alliance, with the SPA. Because there too, he said, he could not put up with what was happening there. It is not now. It is from back then he left. And that is where he last was. So if your father was there and he died in office, or when he died, that is where he was,
Then you're going
then
home.
you can say, I'm going home.
But no.
But if your father dug up his political navel string
And left.
and went somewhere else because there was no good,
Yeah. Are you
and
really
now
going
you're
home?
going to say, in honor of my father, I'm going back to where my
You're
father
actually
left.
going to the neighbor house. That's actually what it is.
Understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not even the neighbor's house.
All right. Wow. Longest program ever in history. Always have to be setting records, even on my show. I don't understand. You're setting records everywhere, even on my show?
Well, you know, the first thing you asked me when you walked in was how am I progressing with the memoirs? And I told you I
Yes.
already had several chapters
Got a
written.
book, yes.
And now here, actually, you could write,
Pinpoint.
you can even write a book
Yeah.
by taking excerpts from here. You can write a book on sports, you
Yeah.
can write a book on education, you can write a book on construction of roads, on the realization of public schools and public
And
education.
how to start a
and-
party from scratch.
and
Yeah.
housing
Yeah.
projects, and you know,
Yeah.
and that is the good combination that you will get with Onde Marlin, the young version of William Marlin.
Politician, why you bring it right back?
No,
Love it.
no. Once you get Onde in there, you continue to get the legacy will be carried on, because there are a lot of loose ends. Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of loose ends that still need to be tied up. The tunnel,
Yeah.
Link 6,
Okay.
housing,
You're getting a preview
in
here, people.
education,
You're getting a preview.
in sports,
Okay.
and you know the cricket stadium,
Yeah.
and thing, the multi, the
Arts.
the Center for Performing Arts.
Yeah.
The 1 cent on gasoline was started and aborted. I had a proposal for government on establishing a housing fund. And through that, we will be able to realize public housing for the people who cannot afford. So we are not building houses with a loan.
Yeah.
We are building houses from a
Fun.
housing fund
Yeah.
that will guarantee the people who cannot afford to pay rent a social house, an adequate social house for 100 guilders. Okay? Because the housing fund is guaranteeing the construction and the realization of those homes. Just like when I established the 1 cent on gasoline, and MP Marcel Gomes at the time cried foul, it was illegal. Yes, gas tax was levied only by the central government. And what we did, we throw a curveball and we say, well, okay, we made an agreement with the wholesalers that we will give them an extra cent with the understanding that what extra cent will go to sports. And we gave out like 800,000 guilders or 900,000 guilders it was in less than a year to sports.
So the 1 cent is not the new thing, man. It's
No,
something from
the
long time.
1 cent is something that I had started ever since I was a commissioner. And when I left, it was not continued, unfortunately.
Thank you so much for allowing us once again. Of course, the best of luck, and I'm sure this is not going to be the last one, but this has been 3 programs.
It is not luck. It is
3 programs.
It is the confidence of the voters. So luck is when you're playing the lottery.
No, but
if you're going to play the
but
lottery, you need luck.
But you're not
Here, you need the
You're
support.
not running. So
I'm running.
So
I'm
best
running.
of luck.
Marlin, look what I'm wearing.
Marlin number 4.
Marlin 4. And you know what my son reminded me?
What's that?
He said, you ran 2.
Yeah.
You ran 3.
Yeah.
You ran 5. You ran 1.
Yeah.
But you have never
run 4.
been number 4.
Wow. Wow.
And I ran 23. But in the top 5,
yeah,
I have never ran 4. So this was like the magic number that was reserved for Marlin. So the only thing you know is the name.
Yes.
And now the lucky number 4.
Lucky number 4. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing me this much time. I know
Always, yes.
you and your cameraman would have help editing and putting it back together.
Yes.
But I'm sure that when you let the people know that the original Let the People Know is on your program, that they will tune in.
They will tune in.
For a thing. Right now, though, I'm getting ready to head off to a political rally.
Yeah.
And I got to bring my son on stage.
All right. Late Night Show, thank you so much for watching once again.
It's time to promote, so come out and vote. We not waste no time, we not make no joke. We voted for you, RSM, Julian Rolex Jr. Candidate number 9, hard time, but he come to shine.
Gracita is a woman of integrity, and she believes in what is best for the country. Facing the issue, she will do it caringly. Gracita is a winning experience guaranteed. Gracita, 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 already. Gracita, 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 number 6. On you
It's time to raise the bar, let's take it to the top. It's time to choose qualified people to rep for ya. From the prisoners to senior, she's right here for ya. Can't forget the education, it's time for better. She's ready and she's focused to get the job done. SXM, the time is now, let us all vote for change. Shamira is the candidate to represent for us. She's gonna represent us locally and even to the Dutch.
St. Martin. You see the strength he have? We need that. You see that little melee? They could keep that. Still voting NA, brother. We need to vote to run back in office. Why? It's hard for we, it's plain to see. We need to vote to run back in office. Why? They can't deny he leads with pride. And I don't mean to be boasty, but I'm walking for way. One, we can get the job done. Doran walking for way. Number 2 and anybody, for sure we solid with heat.
They can't keep a good man down. Always keep a smile when they want me to frown.
Yo. Be the first.
Of course, it is coming down to the wire. And I had to, bring back our Minister of Justice, the Honorable Miss
Anna
Elaine.
Richardson.
You got to say it because you got to say it with some passion. I love the shirts. You come prepared.
Thanks.
You're ready to go. Oh,
Yeah, we only have like what, 4 days?
4 days now?
Yeah.
I mean, who's counting when you're having fun? Is it one of those moments where you go like, you know what? It's over. Finally, it's over. It has arrived, or you wish you had more time?
No, I think we had a very lengthy opportunity to be able. First of all, good afternoon to you
Afternoon.
and to your viewers, to everybody who is tuning in morning, noon, and night.
Yes.
But to the question, I'm really elated about the fact that we're almost to the finish line. I'm looking forward to see how involved our community has been with being able to pay attention to us, pay attention to the hard work that we've been doing, pay attention to the hard work I've been doing. Because ultimately we are in a race, and ultimately I would like to be the candidate that our populace would identify to be their candidate on January 11th and cast their vote for me. Number 7. Sorry, I can't jump.
No, yeah, you can't call it this time, but everybody know it this time.
Oh, but it's right here.
Yes.
You see it? It's in the name.
The 7 is there,
right there.
disappear. Now, of course, last week is when one of the members of parliament, the independent member, I'm not going to call a name, Christopher Emmanuel,
Okay.
he made in fun of your video of you going to the governor, and he was literally acting like you, and he was like, oh, I made it, she made it. Why is it that people make fun of something so serious, Minister?
Well, if you don't have any substance to talk about, if you don't have anything to be able to show the public that you actually did, you are going to do nothing else but try to discredit someone else. So it's a pity party as far as I can see with him, because at the end of the day, the member of parliament, as you so said, even on the floor of parliament indicated during the amendment of the budget, 2023 budget, this budget isn't important. They're not going to get paid anyway. This is not going to happen. So at the end of the day, we had a celebratory moment, Don't hate, celebrate with us. Celebrate the fact that the justice workers are no longer going to have to go through this injustice that they were going through. But you can tell from the MP, he is one that uses a platform of everything that is not right in our country. And as opposed to being someone who's working towards lifting up St. Martin, he puts all his energy into bringing it down. At the end of the day, with this package done, what else are you going to, what are you going to,
and that's what I was
about to bring a force against? There's
Listen,
nothing left.
I, for the life of me, and this is coming from somebody who covered it during your entire term, I was like, but it's finally here, and now it shift from it happened, but where the money?
Yeah. Because individuals like this individual, and you know what? One of his videos, apparently, like he's carrying on, like, remember, she's the one who said, I didn't take this job to eat.
Yeah.
Correct. MP Emmanuel is he is the poster child for me of what you don't do when you take office, because he took office and now he has an investigation under him because he took the job to eat. I said to the justice workers, listen, at the end of the day, my focus is to get this done and do it right for you. That was the premise of my statement. However, here he is trying to run on it like, just remember, but also remember the same step she said that on is the same step she made the commitment and the same step she signed it on. You understand?
I didn't even realize it. Wait, hold on. Yes, that's true.
Please do not send for me. Do not send for me. Because if you don't have substance to run on, just say so. At the end of the day, I have merit. I have a long list that I can show the people of St. Martin how hard my team and I worked.
She blew my mind again. I'm upset. You come prepared for me today.
I'm prepared for everyone, actually.
Man, okay. Yes, the same steps that you said that, yes, and then okay.
I was committed. You know what I mean? Some people took it out of context, and persons like this individual and several others are trying to make it seem like it's something negative. It was never intended to be negative. It was intended to give the workers the assurance that my objective is not here to fill my pockets, as some have done. My objective is not here to think about myself, as many have done. And that is why there's such a negative stigma against politicians, persons like myself. And my objective was to come in and show you that I am not going to put myself or allow myself to be in that box. My objective here is to work for the people of St. Martin, and I've done it.
How do you? I mean, you've gone through the negative, the positive, but mostly negative, and you still go to work, head high. Do you get that from the staff, from those working with you, from those within the ministry? Because I can imagine that most of the time you get a feedback from the workers, and they tell you, is it Minister, are you okay? Everything all right? Because yeah, you did it. And do you stay focused, or how do you deal with that?
Well, that's a good question, I find. And the fact that you're asking about staff. Yes,
Yeah.
my staff has a lot to do, especially those that are closest to me, with being able to give you that encouragement as well. But I always let people know that, I'm a woman of faith. Prayer for me is my fuel. That is what keeps me focused. I really believe that this was an assignment given to me to execute based on my prayers, based on me being able to stay focused. And, Andrew, you have to know how to block out the noise. You have to be able to block out the negative
It's
criticism.
a lot of noise to block
No,
out,
it
no,
is. You have
Minister.
to be able to, because in this environment that we're in, a lot of persons to the public project themselves to be individuals who are concerned, but look at the individuals who didn't support the budget amendment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shout out to MP Gums, MP DeWeaver. Those are the two from the opposition, you could say bench, how we call it,
Yeah.
that stood with us, because ultimately they recognized this wasn't about the people sitting in the room. It was about the people who have been waiting for more than a decade to have this done.
Yeah.
And I made sure during that public meeting, I was present every day, all day, because my justice workers are important to me. And yes, I had to, see it all the way through, and we did. But your staff is a part of the fueling as well.
No, there is sentiment out there that not everybody is included in the function book. Please clarify so that we can get, clarity on the situation.
Okay, good. Well, thank you for that opportunity. The function book includes all departments of the Ministry of Justice. The only entity within justice that has a separate function book than the ministry is that of the prosecution service. Okay, they have a totally different function book structure. When it comes to even our court of guardianship has a function book. However, it has not yet been incorporated in this function book because they are currently a foundation. They have not yet been updated as a department within the Ministry of Justice. We're busy updating our LIOL, which has to go to the Parliament to be approved. And that is going to include incorporating now the Court of Guardianship as well as our Executive Protection Unit. Yes?
Yes,
So,
yes,
but
yes, yes.
every department has a function book,
okay.
and it's a part of disapproved and now activated function book.
Okay, that's clear, because I believe that some members of parliament continue to say that not everybody was included, and some were left
It's a
out.
pity.
And
It's a pity.
again,
It's
this
a pity,
misinformation.
Because, especially in your capacity as a parliamentarian, being the
At least
highest
do some
body.
research.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the objective in this arena that we're in the objective is to be able to minister, right? At the end of the day, this is a big win. Huh? It's a big win for the Ministry of
They won't give
Justice.
it. Yeah, they don't
It's a
want it,
big
yeah.
win for the minister,
Yeah.
being my person,
Yeah.
but it's also a big win for the National Alliance. Let's
Yeah.
talk about it,
Yeah.
And they don't like the fact. Listen, National Alliance has a record of building schools, building homes, and now has it within their entire portfolio that they have also succeeded to bring the justice workers what no other political party has done.
And how many ministers before you?
Yeah, it's something like 7 or 8. Let's
Yeah,
say
yeah.
7 because
Let's say 7.
Minister Duran was a part of getting this started. And I had to clarify that the other day in Parliament
Yeah.
because they keep saying that I'm trying to make it seem like he's the one.
Yeah.
And I literally had to get the picture pulled of the representative of the It was UD. How that went? United Democrats, was it at
I
the
think it was
time?
DP, DP then UD,
And
then
UD
DP.
together,
UD,
UD. So
yes,
that was
yes.
their minister who had signed a ministerial decree, which was incorrect. And I keep saying that you cannot use a ministerial decree to establish the legal basis for the justice workers. The way we've done it now is the correct way. And a lot of people mad.
Yeah.
They're big mad.
They're big
They
mad.
vex.
I don't know why they vex for, but let's keep it
They
going.
vex.
Now, some of the things that you were not able to complete, some of the things that you are unhappy that if you just had a little bit more time.
Asikura. It's in the pipeline. What Asikura is, it's a universal system that the Customs Department uses. And one of the things that I made certain of is each and every department that falls under my authority, I wanted to make sure that they felt that support. They were given that attention, because a lot of them, when you hear them speak, there's like, they felt like the black child. Nobody is really just paying attention. And I didn't want to be a minister with a legacy that did that. And this is why I'm running again, because I feel like we have so many great things in the pipeline that I want to continue with. Asikura system acquisition is one of those things that I really want to continue with. The building of our Law Enforcement Institute, that is in the pipeline as well. I want to see that come to fruition. I want to continue with working with UNOPS to get our prison done. The military academy for our youth. Tonight we're going to be in Dutch Quarter, and I want to talk about that a little bit more with the Dutch Quarter community, because we've identified a parcel of land in that neighborhood where we would like to have this developed. It's a lot of other things in there. With the APIS system, Arriving Passenger Information System, is something else that's in the pipeline. The legislation for that is pretty much done. I have to take it to COM. It has to go to the CERD and the Council of Advice, and it has to go to Parliament. So, we have a lot of things.
You have a lot of things.
We do.
I know
Rome wasn't built in one day.
Yes,
I really would love another 4 years to continue with all the great things we have in the pipeline. Uniforms for the staff, a lot of great things.
So, as far as the unions is concerned, I'm sure that you and I don't know if you get this a lot, but you give the impression, because you're always saying, "I have open door policy, come," and it's like, but wait, they have unions. Minister Anna, what happened to you? You don't like the unions, or you don't like the people in the unions?
It's about professionalism for me. I am open to speak to any and everyone. When we sit at the table and we make an agreement, those agreements are executed as we agreed. Not a case that you are blatantly showing that, or trying to portray the minister as the enemy. And that is something that has always confused me. If the minister is the one person who is depended on to be able to get the job done, why make the minister the enemy? We should be working together, because our ultimate interest is the staff. But Andrew, you cannot have that, because let's be careful with just kind of putting all the unions into one pocket, because I deal with different unions and the experience is not the same. It's the agenda. It's the agenda of individuals who, and we can see that. We have the president of the union who was really charging against the minister the most. The president is now running on a slate. And it was even like, when the president, when he was running again to be re-elected, there was a lot of charging in the street. And someone said to me, try not to put too much energy into this. At the end of the day, the elections are on, and he wants to be re-elected to be the president of the union. Lo and behold, here it came out, he wanted to be, and the staff supported him again because they felt he was standing up for him. But in the end, it was all an act, because he wants to become now the Minister of Justice. See, things like that is what I can't respect. At the end of the day, our ultimate goal is supposed to be in the best interests of the staff. You cannot be the head or the president of a union, and we sit at a table and we make decisions. We literally signed off on it, and then you go to the staff and say, I was never there. And then we go to Parliament, and what we have to do, put your signature on the screen so the staff could see you were really there and you made the decision.
Yeah, it's like energy.
You understand?
Like wasted energy.
That type of integrity breach, that says a lot about your character, about your integrity. You cannot be trusted. Things like that I cannot deal with. And then when you have staff telling you, we didn't know this, we didn't hear that,
you
get
that.
In the media, what did I do? I made an intranet, and the intranet now gives me the opportunity to write a letter to my staff and send it to them.
Yeah.
This way, when the information trickles down or it doesn't trickle down, the staff would have received it authentically.
Yeah.
There's no turns, twists, lies, nothing in it. Is exactly the way it is the way the minister has given it to you. So it's not to say that I don't want to deal with unions. As I said, I deal with other union presidents, and some of them, let me tell you something, they know their books. They know what they're talking about. It's a professional discussion, and what they say you can trust. And then there are those that you can't.
Okay. So it depends. Going to we're here in St. Peter's.
Yes, in my stomping
this is
ground.
your stomping ground.
This is where I used to play in the playground before I left to go to the US for school. This used to be my playground.
And
So
this
thanks.
no, yeah, no problem. You know, I actually went to afternoon school here in St. Peter's.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So St. Peter's, I'm sure that the residents in St. Peter's want to know what is your plan, and of course the districts, as far as your district program is concerned. I know that you're very passionate about that.
Yes, thanks for asking that. So one of the things that we have in the pipeline is wanting to have substations, police substations in all of our districts, St. Peter's being one, of course. We know we have a challenge with traffic due to being the school district. We know we have a challenge with our youth in terms of the violence against each other, with the fighting, etc.
Yeah.
Of course, home invasions and these different things. This entire cul-de-sac area, we want to be able to put, as small as St. Martin is, we still like a big territory. It takes time to get there. But we figure if we were to put a substation right here in St. Peter's, we do have a location that we're interested in. And in my second term in this capacity, that's one of the first things that I would like to continue to work towards, to have that done. So I know the St. Peter's community, our bikers is a challenge for them in riding up and down the street. Another thing is the noise. It's a mixture of commercial and residential, and sometimes the music can get kind of loud and it goes into the wee hours. So all of these things we want to, work closer and more in harmony as a community, that everybody's able to respect one another. So, and it's not just St. Peter's or the cul-de-sac district, but all our districts. So one of the first, though, is to be able to bring the substation here in St. Peter's because of the reasons that I just mentioned, and then branch out into other districts to provide that as well.
And at number 7. All right, welcome back to the Late Night Show. Of course, we are here with Anna Elaine Richardson, number 7 on the National Alliance slate. Of course, elections is this upcoming Thursday already, boy. Woo. Now, I had to ask, because I'm sure all the justice workers want to know, because now that the Parkinson book is finished, but the salaries finally is going to be regulated, and I'm sure that they've been getting their degrees and so on. Okay, no problem. But as far as the salaries is concerned, have you been looking at the salary, the scales? I know you've been looking at it, but the reason why I asked is because some of the justice workers, I'm sure, feel underpaid for the hard work that they do. And, of course, with the cost of living, it's pretty high. So salary scales and so on with this function book, will it be regulated better now, or will it function?
Right.
Will the function book function?
So the function book in itself, as you know, is a book that has the description of roles and responsibilities that also comes with your scale. In those scales already has an increase to salaries.
Okay.
Yeah. It might not to some be like a really great increase, but it is an increase. Police scales have also now been activated. New police scales have been activated. So police are receiving higher scales there.
Okay.
And I was even advised, we have to even look at the possibility that, and I'm not trying to put that out there, but I was made aware that the possibility of the ombudsman looking very, much into it, because at the end of the day, does it bring an imbalance between the justice workers and the rest of the civil servants? Because the justice workers will now be earning a bit more than civil servants.
But they work hard, though.
Yeah, they do, and their risk levels, etc., are different. You know what I mean?
Pretty high.
So, but we'll deal with that if and when it comes.
Yeah.
But yes, to answer your question, there's definitely an increase in income. And then when it comes to the cost of living, even justice workers are recipients to the adjusted cost of living that the Minister of Finance has been speaking about that continues to increase on an annual basis going forward. So there is an increase.
There's an increase, yeah, based on the function book.
Yes.
What does Anna Elaine Richardson say to a voter, to the people for the past 4 years?
Yeah.
They've seen you in action. They've seen your endurance. They've seen you perform. What do you say to them, and why should they vote for you?
Thank you so much for that question. And you've said it so well in terms of the endurance, the commitment, the capabilities.
Yeah.
At the end of the
Unwavering, because
yeah, absolutely. I have to be, you know, you have to be. I'm the first female Minister of Justice, and I think, like I've said before in another interview, persons were under the impression that I would have bowed out or I would have resigned because the pressure was getting too much. But actually,
I don't think it was pressure. It was pressure, though. It was pressure.
Is it?
Yeah, I mean, look. Lyndon Lewis the other day there made a whole 2-hour video on you.
Lyndon Lewis needs to tell the people the truth. He needs to tell the people why, for example, something along the lines that the minister is disrespectful. No one gets more disrespectful than Lyndon Lewis, because at the end of the day, the Minister of VSA Teat, whichever capacity he was in, fired Lyndon Lewis from his cabinet because of his disrespect. Lyndon Lewis is the type of personality who feels like he can dominate you. He can come into a room, sit down with you, and you must do as he says. He doesn't speak about the fact that I did prepare his LB, where ultimately it comes down to money for him. Okay, his LB was prepared based on the court verdict, and it was sent to the governor. The governor sent it back and said, read that verdict again. You know what I mean? And I've sent it on to staff. But the gentleman's attitude and his whole disposition of things is something where I'm trying to figure out, and I saw your meme with him the other day where his job is going to be. But that is because at the end of the day, his attitude is, where exactly within justice are you wanted? And is that the reason that you're running to be the minister now? Because you are well aware that your attitude is the reason no one wants to do. You could make as many videos about me as you want. Thank you for calling my name. I keep telling them every time you all call my name, my views go up, my likes go up, my followers go up. I love it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you're not going to shake me. You haven't been able to do it in the last 4 years. You ain't going to do it going forward. Because you know, and I know, your file is like this thick. This thick. And there's a reason for that. Your integrity is breached. You know what I mean?
So that's why when he says that you wouldn't, all I want to do is sit down with the minister.
Come on, we sat down and he was rude and disrespectful. And at the end of the day, let me tell you something. I believe that respect goes both ways. Don't look at me that I'm a woman and feel you can walk into the room and you can, dictate how it's going to go. Andrew, I'm not going to tolerate those things. But when I open my mouth now, everybody's like, oh my God, she's so...
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah.
But listen, at the end of the day, I recognize that individuals who are running on the Now Party, we can realize it.
Yeah.
I'm talking from the number one, the number two, Lyndon Lewis. I don't even understand how females are a part of the Now Party, because they just don't like to see women in power.
Yeah.
They are disrespectful. They are misogynistic. They are the bigotry. It's really, really, interesting to me that these are the individuals that are saying, I need to be the leader of your country. How can you be the leader of a country when you do not have inclusivity in your entire vocabulary? You feel everything has to be a man's world, what a man says, when a man says it. Stop, you know? So at the end of the day, individuals like a Lyndon Lewis and everybody there on the Now Party, they do not have any type of substance to give the people of St. Martin as to why you should vote for them. But if you don't mind, he was asking me why they should vote for me.
Why vote?
I'd appreciate the opportunity to use my time to state that.
You do that.
But yes, at the end of the day, I believe that I have done a lot of hard work for this ministry. I believe, as I've stated, this ministry is now the golden ministry. It's a ministry no one wanted. It's a ministry that everybody just was like, too much. You talked about the pressure that came along with it. So a lot of people ran from it, didn't touch what had to be. But we have done it. My cabinet, my administration, me and my staff, whether it's external partners, we put the work in, we did the heavy lifting, we have completed this, you know. And so on January 11th, which is next Thursday, I am asking the community of St. Martin to place your vote with number 7 on the National Alliance. And if it's not going to be me, then we have 22 other persons on this slate who I'd like you to be able to pay attention to and allow us to be able to carry. We want the full mandate.
Yeah,
we really
sure.
do want
Yes,
the full
yes,
mandate.
yes.
We're willing to work with any other coalition member that you know is successful in this, because at the end of the day, the ultimate attention is supposed to be wanting to progress our country
St. Martin.
together
Yeah, correct.
in a productive way. But we want to be able to do that with persons who genuinely have the best interests of this country at heart. Yeah, and it's not in a coalition; it's a marriage.
Yeah.
So you're going to have your agreements, you're going to have your disagreements,
yeah.
and so forth, and sometimes it gets shaky.
Yeah.
But what I would appreciate is what we had with these last 4 years, sustainability.
Yeah.
That is what we want.
And it was tough. I'm sure it was tough, but still.
But we made it.
Yeah.
So kudos to us.
Yeah.
And, you know, congratulations to what we've been able to do. But I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'm looking forward to those numbers coming in. I'm looking forward to individuals. And reach out to me. You know, reach out to me if you need to. Anybody that you know via. We're also on social media. We have a YouTube page. We have the Ministry of Justice, my elect page, my minister page.
Yeah.
I'm available. I'm accessible. And if you don't have your shirt yet, get in touch with us because they're fly, aren't they?
Yeah, they fly.
They're dope.
And I must say, you know, the minister covering her for the past 4 years, I must say, whew.
We saved the best for the last.
Yeah, because I mean,
because she was mad at me.
She couldn't shake. I couldn't shake her. I couldn't wait. Listen, and I was going and going, and she just
focused. Andrew, I had to stay focused. It took so long for me to get a meme.
I commend you.
The meme was
the meme was the bomb at the end.
Yeah, it was the bomb. The meme was honestly the bomb. I loved it. You know, I even put it on my status, and people were messaging me like, "Fissy, you, what are you doing?" I said, "Give Andrew all the credit."
Oh,
I wanted a debate, though. I ain't gonna lie.
I know.
I wanted a debate, and I wanted a debate with Roseburg, Mauricia, Lyndon Lewis, and who was the fourth one? Was somebody else?
Heron Fien. Heron Fien, Edie.
Yeah, that young lady, because they got a lot to say. So I wanted us to kind
They
of.
know justice, minister. They know justice.
I wanted that debate.
Yeah.
You know, but let me see.
Let's see if things could happen.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's nice when you could be all over the place showing your shots, but let's sit at the table and debate about it.
And discuss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure that minister, you'll be able to correct them where they go wrong.
Whenever.
Yeah. This is the part where you're supposed to smile because it's the end, okay?
Stop, Andrew. You're the worst.
All right.
I take my job very seriously.
Yeah, I know you do.
My job. I
Yeah.
always say it. I love
And
the Ministry of Justice.
Contrary to popular belief, she's very approachable. I know sometimes she got this mean mug.
Serious.
She got a serious mean mug at times, but you can actually approach her.
Yes, I'm a very
and she'll answer you.
I'm a serious person, but at the end of the day, I have a very low tolerance for nonsense. You understand? Because listen, running a country is not something that should be played with.
Yeah.
It's a very serious
It
situation.
was the same in Parliament too.
And at the end of the day, you know, we have a lot of people within our community that just don't believe in voting. They don't believe in us as politicians because of all.
And they put you in the same basket.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, I take it very serious. I love my country. This is where I was born. This is where, you know what I mean? I have built my life, and I want to see St. Martin, you know, rise once again, and all of us to be proud, to be patriotic. So that's the goal. I love you.
All right. That is it for Late Night. Thank you so much, Minister, and good luck.
Thank you too. Thank you so much.
That is it for the Late Night Show. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, we will continue having programs with the different candidates. Election is on Thursday, the 11th of January. I know a bunch of people are waiting for, elections as it's the countdown, guys. I'd like to thank our guest. Of course, I'd like to say, the reason why we did this series on William Marlin, the Member of Parliament, is because we needed to show respect where respect is due. 45 years as a public servant is not easy, and I do hope to do a little bit more with the different persons who retired, the persons who been in service for a long time, and also hearing of how St. Martin used to be. It's always a good thing to know about your past, to know where you're going, right? So I would like to publicly say, thank you for your service, Mr. Marlin. Thank you for the sacrifices. Thank you to your family. And St. Martin owes you very much. I know they sometimes have a weird way of showing it, but at the end of the day, we do notice. That is it for the Late Night Show. Till tomorrow, have a good one.